Hello everybody, I'm Ajit K. Mishra, your course instructor for Essential Life Skills. I'm here again with a new module, and this module is about essential leadership skills. You might wonder why I'm talking about leadership skills when most people think that it is meant for just a few, the privileged ones. That's not the case. We do not anymore live in the superhero era where just one person would be sort of being able to do everything that is required. That means it used to be a one-person army in the past, but the era has changed and we live in an era where it is about everybody. Leadership skills are sought in everybody. That way everybody is a leader now. So this is the era that allows us to be leaders, that also allows us to develop great and essential leadership skills in us, because this is the era of team working in which every team member is a leader. And that's the reason why every team member is expected to develop some great leadership skills so that we can contribute to the overall mission of the team in the proper manner. So leadership skills can help us in all aspects of our career. That's one. From applying for jobs to seeking career advancement. It is one of the most important soft skills that we have to develop in all of us, because it is highly valued by employers. And leadership skills often incorporate several different personality traits and communication abilities that are useful for any one of us to learn and practice over time. And that's the reason why leadership skills are so very important. So in this session, I will walk you through the world of essential leadership skills one by one, so that you come to terms with all those important and essential leadership skills, and you can either verify the leadership skills that you already have, or you can develop some of those important skills in yourselves. So let's take a look at these important skills one by one. Before we can talk about leadership skills, let's first ask this question: what are leadership skills, and what exactly do we mean by leadership skills? Leadership skills are those skills that we use when organizing people around us to reach a shared goal. As I told you a while ago, that this is the era of team working. So every member in a team is a leader. So every member is responsible to inspire the other team members in some way or the other, so that the team can reach its shared goal together in a cooperative, in a collaborative manner. And that's the reason why leadership skills are important. Whether we are in a management position or we are leading a project, leadership skills require that we motivate others to complete a series of tasks, often according to a schedule. So leadership is not just one skill, rather it's a combination of several different skills that work together. And we need to understand that leadership is all about a series of important skills that, when combined, can lead to wonderful results. So why are leadership skills important? Is another important question that we need to ask at the beginning. The answer is, effective leaders are essential, are crucial and vital to any organization. So most people have seen the result of both effective and ineffective leadership in the past. And that's the reason why good leaders increase employee engagement, support a positive environment, and help remove obstacles for their team. So if I am a team member, I must also do this. We all are leaders that way. So good leadership is also contagious. And that's the reason why it is very strongly suggested that good leaders end up making or creating more leaders. Good leaders are not people who will end up creating lots of followers. That's not good leadership. So good leadership is contagious, inspiring colleagues and team members to apply positive leadership traits in their own work. And that's the reason why leadership skills are very, very important. Let's take a look at these essential leadership skills one by one. The first is self-development. We all know it is very, very important for a leader to develop oneself first. If I do not know myself well, I cannot claim that I know others as well, because the discovery of the self leads to the discovery of others. So self-development is very, very important, which begins with self-awareness and then leads to self-discovery, resulting in self-development. I'll have to develop myself because I cannot afford to be stagnant for a long time. I cannot afford to be static. Leadership is all about being dynamic, being evolving, and that's the reason why self-development is very, very important. The second important leadership skill is team development. I cannot work alone. This is not the era of individual working. This is the era of team working. Therefore, as a team member or as a leader of a team, I have to develop my team first so that I get people on board who are competent, who are motivated, and who are ready to go that extra mile to achieve and accomplish the mission of the team. If I do not know how to build, how to develop a team, then I'll never have a team, and in the absence of a team, despite having great leadership qualities, I'll not be able to accomplish the mission of my team because I do not have one. The third essential leadership skill is strategic thinking and acting. So thinking and acting must go together, otherwise it will be a never-ending thinking task. So thinking without acting and acting without thinking will lead to nowhere. That's the reason why it's very, very important for leaders to both think and act. But all these are to be done in a strategic manner, so that we have to employ some strategies, some logical approaches, some logical moves, so that we do not end up in disaster. So we'll have to think in a strategic manner and we'll have to act in a logical manner. The fourth important leadership skill is planning and delivery. I must plan as a leader. Without planning, I'll end up wasting time and energy. So for any good delivery standards, practices to be established, to be reaffirmed, it's very important that I begin to plan and I begin to act and I begin to deliver. So before I can deliver the projects, before I can deliver the goods, it's important that I begin to plan in a proper manner. Not one plan will do, but also several plans for the same task, same project is required. Because in the event of the failure of one plan or plan A, I must have a plan B or a plan C. And that's the benefit of going for a plan. The fifth important leadership skill is persuasion and influencing. Great leaders are great persuaders and great influencers. This is the era of influencing or influencers. We know how social media influencers are changing behavior and decision-making processes of people around them. So this is the era of persuaders and influencers. So leaders are expected to have a great deal of persuasive and influencing skills in them. Finally, the most important leadership skill is change leadership. We are living in an era that is moving in a rapid manner, in an unbelievable, unimaginable speed. It's moving so fast that before we can think about what is happening around us, it has moved to the next level. So it's very, very important that we understand how important for all of us to develop change leadership qualities or skills in us, so that we know how to adapt to changes, how to embrace changes, and how to also at times cause changes around us. So this transformative power is very, very important in all leaders. So I will be taking you through each one of these components or essential leadership skills one by one in all the sessions that will follow in this module. But for now, I'll be focusing on some other very important leadership skills. Let me call them top leadership skills. And let's start with the first important leadership skill, that is communication. We all know communication is the most important thing that we all can think of, that we all can do. And that's the reason why it is the most important skill humans can ever develop in themselves. So communication forms one-on-one, departmental and full staff conversations, as well as communication via the telephonic medium, email, video conferencing, chatting, and social media. So communication can be of two types, verbal and written. So it's very, very important that as leaders we develop great verbal communication skills, so also great written communication skills as well. I have already talked about some great written communication skills before, and you might have taken note of that. So clarity, explaining, regularity, and empathic communication. So for great leaders, it's important that they communicate with clarity. That means as a leader, if I expect something from my team members, from my colleagues, I must with clarity communicate my message to my team members. There should be no ambiguity, there should be no confusion in between. Similarly, as a leader, I must be in a position to explain things well to my team members. And I must also make my team members comfortable through communication. Because in the absence of comfort, team members will not be able to build trust. If, as the leader, I do not make my team members comfortable, if I do not make themselves at ease with themselves, with me, they will never come back to me, discuss things, they will never bring innovative ideas to the leader. And that way, there will be something missing in the teamwork, and that will lead to problems for the team. Similarly, there has to be a regularity in the communication that leaders do. It's not that leaders will communicate on one occasion and for a long period thereafter, they will not communicate with the team members at all. No. It is important that leaders regularly communicate with their team members so that there is no communication break or no communication gap between them and the team members. Similarly, it is very important for leaders to communicate in an empathic manner with the team members. Because we all are human beings and we all have our emotional issues with us. It's important for leaders to understand the emotional state of the other team members at any given point in time. Without an ability to do so, it will be very difficult for a leader to extend any emotional support to the team members. So communication is the first important skill of a great leader. Leadership is all about developing these skills in us. Leadership is all about being able to do a lot of things, a variety of things. Leadership in our times is all about realizing the fact that we all are leaders. There is not just one leader and we all are followers. No, we have to believe that we all are leaders. Therefore, we have to develop great leadership skills in each one of us because we never know when we'll be asked to lead a team for a certain project. When that happens, we'll have to exhibit, we'll have to display some great leadership skills. With that, we come to the end of this session. I'm sure you have taken note of the important leadership skills that I talked about through this session, and you're going to explore them yet further. When I meet you next in a new session, I'll be talking about some other important aspects of leadership skills. Till then, bye-bye.